standing here right now is a very special moment for me because I had my very first event while I was 16 at this auditorium. So that takes me to talking about how you can stand out. I'm going to tell you a story. And from there, I'm going to be able to dissect. Let me just close this. Before now, I was going to call me and just tell you what I think you want to hear, but I think it would be easier to reflect that through my story. I started when I was 16 years old. And that was here at the University of Benin. Now, if I had somebody like me to stand here to tell me, maybe I'll be way past here by now. So you need to think that 5 years from now, if doing it afraid was all it was going to take to make you successful, what would you do differently? I was 16 with a dream. I was 5 years ahead. I wanted to be ruthless. I wanted to be dogged. I don't believe in competitors. I'm my only competition. And I know that when I walk into the room, I'm going to be visible. You are going to see me. I'm going to always stand out in every room. I was 16 and I wanted to do something followed by my passion. Right now, maybe we know the business part of it, but I wanted to be more. And I wanted to only work with people that people would question and say, how was she able to do this? That's how I live my life. If it's not a project that's going to make me stand out, be different, and be daring, then count me out. I was 16, and I knew everybody I wanted to work with. I walked into rooms that said no. They all said no, actually, because they're like, 16-year-old, what are you going to do? Go back to school, Joe. And everybody was like, how are you able to cope between schooling and doing this? She probably got into a class or a tutor because it's going to be very hard to multitask. But I knew what was burning inside of me. I knew that it just took me to be strategic, to be focused, to be consistent, not frequent. When you are consistent, you show up differently every time. But when you're frequent, you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Now, there's the marketplace and the secret place. Now, the marketplace is where you do transactions, where you do business, but the secret place is your branding. How do you want to be perceived when you walk into a room? How do you want people to see you when you walk into a room? Do you have to live in the version of you that is always going to be actively ready for the capacity of things you want to receive? Now, being lucky is great, but you have to always be prepared. That's why you always have to stand out. Now, if you're lucky all the time, fine. But if you're prepared while being lucky, you will always be different in the crowd. People say, I've been able to channel all these things from being an influencer, working with different brands, being out there. But no, the influence is not the fame. The influence is being felt. It's me standing here and being able to share my experience. And you're like, oh, it's not because she has always been lucky, but it's because you know that I have something to, or you always have to be the value in the room. And that's that from your branding, how you look, your thought process, what you want. The first question I should have asked is, who are you? If you're always going to be able to answer that question, who are you? What do you want? What's 5 years' time going to be like? You will not even worry about any competition because you will be your only competitor. I did Fashion Junkie June 14. That was my 24th birthday. Thank you. And that was a goal for me. I said, I want to be 24. I want to turn 24 standing out. I want to turn 24 and people outside Nigeria would ask, who is this? What's the show about? So I did not do the usual, put a team together, have an event, tell people to buy tickets. No, I told them, this event, I want it to be felt. I want people outside Nigeria to know that something is happening. And for any room I enter, your no means a lot to me. The question is why? Your no is an inspiration for my expansion. I want you to tell me no because I want to be able to dream bigger than you. Somebody said it that for every idea you're thinking about, somebody else has thought about it. If you think you're this big, somebody else is always bigger. So when somebody told me no, I went for MTN. Somebody said no, I went for a bigger brand. Because I dared to dream and I dared to stand out, and it all worked out. And when they were like, this whole capacity is 2,000, I said, okay, I want 3,000. And the question became, how? The engine is good, but the engine will always need other parts to function. And that brings us to collaboration and networking. As an entrepreneur, you need to understand the power of collaboration, be it in beauty, in lifestyle, because that's my field. But you always need to network. I do my event every 2 years, and I'm able to do it and do it well. Because I've used 2 years to network. People did not understand why I always took that much time. Because I knew that it would take me a long time to meet the 1% of the 1% in the room. It would take me a long time to read, to learn, to focus, to watch. You have to study. My friends to tell me that I have a heart of a baby, but the personality of a wild animal. Because sometimes I'm just a slow tiger. I like to watch and study. Because I know that what I want to do is beyond the ordinary because I'm trying to stand out. I'm trying to be 5 years ahead. And I knew that I was going to conquer. And I never stopped. Your strength is your power. You might question your passion, but your momentum is what is always going to keep you going, going to keep you pushing. Social media is good. It's good to be visible. But you always need to have a mood board and a focus. And then I diverted to the business part of it. And I said, okay, I like fashion. I have a modeling agency. I organize fashion shows every 2 years. Why don't I start a clothing brand? And then I started one. I'm very strategic. I'm very good at strategies. I started a marketing agency. And then I knew that every time I have to show up, I had to go rent a car and an escort because you have to show up and show out. I started a rental company. And I said, okay, you know what? People need to eat every time. I started a Foodhub. There's no limitation to you. I don't know if you get it. The person next to you is your social capital. You need them. Whatever I am today, I started with 1,500 naira and I borrowed it. Yes, because I was 16. But I believed. And I knew that only my belief would not get me there. But I believed and I was dogged enough to know that this 1,500 naira would turn to millions for me. And I made my first 3 million naira standing here when I was 16. From that one dream. It's not a fairy tale. It's not easy. I'm not trying to pressure you. But I'm trying to tell you that if you decide to start now, start when I get off the stage, start today. In 5 years' time, you will be different. You will stand out. For every inspiration, that is the reason for your expansion. Do not ever forget that. So I'm going to leave now, putting this question in your head and letting you know that it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail. It's okay for people to believe that you're going to fail and you can't do it. But what's most important is that you're going to fail forward. Was combining schooling and entrepreneurship difficult for me? Yes. But did I graduate with 2-1? Yes. Because for every time somebody said, you can't do it, you're always traveling, you're always having meetings, they made me understand that I could even do it more. So I'm going to end by motivating you and telling you all the things I did from 100 level to 500 level because I want you to believe that you can be it and you can do it. So like I said, in 100 level, I had Fashion Junkie 1.0. In 200 level, I had Dare My Runway. In 300 level, I had the Model Summit. In 300 level, I started the Foodhub. In 400 level, I started my certifications. In 400 level, I became the top 40 under 40 CEOs in Nigeria. In 400 level, I became one of the leading African women. In 400 level, I was awarded Influencer of the Year by Nance. And in 400 level, I started South Africa. In 500 level, I had Fashion Junkie 2.0, and still in 500 level, I became one of the 100 most impactful women founders. In conclusion, there is no limitation. Thank you.